Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to share with you a topic that is foundational to living a purposeful life, the keys to building character. Character is not a gift, it is a result of choices. It is not what you are born with, but what you choose to cultivate. In fact, character is the only thing you carry with you when everything else is stripped away. What is character? Character is the commitment to a set of values without compromise. It is who you are when no one is watching. It is not measured by what you say, but by how you act, especially in moments of pressure. True character is not something you display when life is easy, it's proven when life gets tough. The foundation of character lies in your principles. If your principles are shaky, so too will be your character. A person of character does not sway with the winds of popular opinion. Instead, they are like a tree planted by streams of water, unmoved by external forces, because they are deeply rooted in truth. Integrity is the cornerstone of character. It is the quality that defines who we are, both in public and in private. Integrity is not simply about telling the truth, it is about being truthful in every aspect of our lives, our actions, our words, and even our thoughts. It is the practice of maintaining consistency between what we say and what we do, regardless of external pressures or circumstances. True integrity comes from a deep-rooted commitment to a set of principles and values that do not change according to the situation or who is always around. When we talk about integrity, it is not merely the absence of dishonesty or deceit. Integrity is more than just avoiding wrong actions. It is about being the kind of person who is trustworthy and reliable, regardless of the temptation or opportunity to act otherwise. Integrity means doing what is right even when no one is looking. It is about being honest, not because we fear punishment, but because our character is defined by our honesty. We are truthful because we understand that our integrity is the foundation upon which our lives are built. Without integrity, everything else falls apart. Trust, relationships, and personal fulfillment all depend on it. In a world that often rewards short-term gains and momentary advantages, integrity can seem like an old-fashioned virtue, something that doesn't necessarily align with the fast-paced, results-driven culture we live in. People may be tempted to cut corners, tell white lies, or withhold the truth in order to gain an advantage. However, this approach may lead to temporary success, but it ultimately erodes the trust and respect of others, and more importantly, it undermines our own sense of self-respect. When we compromise our integrity, we chip away at the very foundation of who we are. The cost of integrity cannot be measured in money or material success, but in the loss of peace, fulfillment, and the ability to look ourselves in the mirror with pride. True integrity requires us to be aligned with our values at all times. It is a commitment to be consistent in what we believe and how we act, regardless of who is watching. Integrity asks us to be honest, not only when it is convenient, but also when it is difficult. It compels us to do the right thing, even when there is no immediate benefit for us, even when we have to face personal discomfort or sacrifice. Integrity doesn't allow us to make excuses or shift the blame when things go wrong. Instead, it calls us to take responsibility for our actions, to own our mistakes, and to learn and grow from them. One of the key aspects of integrity is honesty. It's easy to tell the truth when there is no consequence to it, but true integrity is about telling the truth when the cost is high. Whether it's admitting a mistake at work, confessing a wrongdoing in our personal lives, or being truthful in a situation where dishonesty could save us from trouble, honesty requires courage. The person who lives with integrity understands that honesty is not just a moral obligation, it is a path to freedom. When we tell the truth, we are no longer bound by the weight of deception or fear. We do not have to remember what we said or worry about what might be uncovered later. Truth liberates us from the need to maintain falsehoods, and it establishes a clear path toward building trust with others. Integrity is also closely tied to accountability. When we act with integrity, we are not only committed to being truthful, but also to standing by our actions. Accountability means taking ownership of our choices, regardless of their outcomes. It means not blaming others or making excuses when things don't go as planned. It means being responsible for the consequences of our decisions and understanding that we cannot control everything, but we can control how we respond. People of integrity are willing to be held accountable for their behavior, and they do not shy away from facing the repercussions of their actions, good or bad. Accountability is a sign of maturity and strength, showing that we are willing to face the truth, even when it is difficult. Living with integrity also requires consistency. Integrity is not something that is selectively applied. It is not something we practice in certain situations but ignore in others. A person of integrity does not put on a mask to fit in with different groups or circumstances. They are the same person in every situation. Whether at work, in their relationships, or in their private lives, they are guided by the same principles. This consistency is what builds trust with others. People are drawn to individuals who are dependable and reliable. They know that what you say is what you will do, and they can count on you to act with integrity, even when it is difficult or inconvenient. Integrity is also about resisting the temptation to compromise our values for personal gain. In the world around us, there is often pressure to succeed at any cost. Whether it's cutting corners to meet a deadline, using someone else's work as our own, or sacrificing our moral beliefs to fit in with others, the temptation to compromise is ever present. However, people of integrity do not give in to these pressures. They understand that true success comes not from external achievements, but from the alignment of their actions with their values. They do not sacrifice their principles for temporary rewards or the approval of others. Instead, they stand firm, knowing that their integrity is far more valuable than any short-term success. In many ways, integrity is the quiet strength that guides us through life. It is not the loudest trait nor the most attention-grabbing, but it is the one that sustains us. It allows us to remain grounded in the face of adversity, to make difficult decisions with confidence, and to maintain our self-respect when others may falter. Integrity gives us the courage to be true to ourselves, even when the world around us is filled with distractions and temptations to do otherwise. At its core, integrity is about living authentically. It is about aligning our actions with our values and ensuring that we are the same person in every situation. It is about being honest, accountable, and consistent, even when it costs us something. Integrity is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It builds a reputation that lasts, fosters trust and respect in our relationships, and creates a foundation for lasting success. Without integrity, we risk losing not only the trust of others, but also the trust we have in ourselves. Integrity is the compass that keeps us on course, guiding us toward a life of purpose, fulfillment, and lasting impact. Discipline is the backbone of success and personal growth. It is the ability to do what is right, even when it is difficult, uncomfortable, or inconvenient. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement, and it is one of the most powerful forces for creating lasting change in a person's life. Without discipline, potential remains untapped. Goals are left unachieved, and dreams remain nothing more than fantasies. In its purest form, discipline is the strength to persevere through challenges, to maintain focus despite distractions, and to consistently take action toward what matters most. The foundation of discipline begins with a commitment to self-control. Self-control is the ability to regulate our emotions, thoughts, and behaviors in the face of temptations and impulses. In a world filled with distractions, where we are constantly bombarded by noise and instant gratification, self-control is what keeps us grounded. It is the ability to say no to short-term pleasures in favor of long-term success. Discipline requires us to make choices that are aligned with our greater goals, even when it means delaying immediate satisfaction. A person who practices discipline is not ruled by their emotions or impulses, but by a deeper commitment to their values and priorities. Discipline begins with small, consistent actions. It is not a monumental act, but a collection of many small decisions that accumulate over time. Every day we are presented with choices, both big and small, that will either bring us closer to our goals or take us further away from them. Discipline means making the right choice in those moments, even when it is not the easy or popular choice. It means waking up early when you'd rather stay in bed, staying focused on a task even when your mind wanders, and continuing to push forward when you feel like giving up. These small acts of discipline are what build momentum and lead to big results over time. To develop discipline, we must first recognize the importance of time. Time is one of our most precious resources, and how we spend it determines the quality of our lives. Discipline requires us to manage our time effectively, ensuring that we are spending it on the things that matter most. In a culture that often glorifies busyness, discipline means learning to prioritize our time and say no to things that do not align with our goals. It is about being intentional with our time, focusing on the tasks and activities that will move us forward rather than getting caught up in the noise of daily life. One of the most critical aspects of discipline is the ability to delay gratification. We live in a society that promotes instant results and quick fixes, where success is often measured by immediate outcomes. However, discipline teaches us that true success requires patience and perseverance. The ability to wait for the rewards that come from hard work, dedication, and consistent effort is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up when results do not come quickly. Delayed gratification is about choosing long-term success over immediate pleasure, understanding that the path to greatness is often slow and steady, requiring sustained effort over time. Discipline is also about maintaining consistency. It's easy to be disciplined when we feel motivated, but true discipline is about showing up and doing the work, even when we don't feel like it. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is what keeps us going on the days when our energy is low, our enthusiasm wanes, and the obstacles seem insurmountable. When we develop discipline, we learn to rely on consistency rather than motivation. It's about creating routines and habits that support our goals, regardless of our mood or circumstances. When we commit to showing up every day, even in small ways, we build the kind of consistency that leads to long-term success. Discipline also requires us to confront our weaknesses and face discomfort. Growth rarely happens in the comfort zone. To build discipline, we must be willing to step out of our comfort zones and push through the resistance that comes with new challenges. Discipline demands that we face the discomfort of change, the struggle of learning something new, and the effort required to build new habits. This is often the hardest part of developing discipline, choosing to endure discomfort instead of taking the easy way out. However, it is precisely through this discomfort that we develop strength and resilience. Each challenge we face and overcome builds our capacity to handle even greater obstacles, making us more disciplined and capable over time. Accountability is another vital component of discipline. It's easy to be disciplined when someone is watching, but true discipline is about being accountable to yourself, even when no one is looking. Building discipline requires a deep commitment to your own integrity and the ability to hold yourself accountable for your actions, decisions, and progress. Having an accountability partner, a mentor, or a community of like-minded individuals can significantly help in staying disciplined. These people hold us to our promises, encourage us during difficult times, and provide the external motivation needed to stay on track. However, accountability starts with self-awareness and self-regulation. To develop discipline, we must take ownership of our actions and recognize that we are the ones responsible for our success. Developing discipline is not an overnight process. It is a gradual, ongoing journey. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to stay committed, even when the results are not immediately visible. It requires that we make a long-term investment in ourselves and our goals. The road to discipline is often not smooth, and we will face setbacks along the way. We will encounter moments of failure, frustration, and doubt. However, it is precisely these moments that teach us the most valuable lessons about discipline. Each time we get back up after a fall, we become stronger and more disciplined. It is through perseverance that we build the kind of character that leads to success. As we develop discipline, it's important to remember that progress is not linear. There will be times when we make great strides and other times when we feel like we are moving backward. However, the key is to never give up. True discipline requires that we keep going, even when the road is tough. It's about staying focused on the long-term vision, even when the immediate results are not as expected. The journey to discipline may not be easy, but it is always worth it. Ultimately, discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It is the ability to remain consistent in the pursuit of our goals, to push through the obstacles and challenges, and to keep taking steps forward, no matter how small. Discipline is what transforms potential into performance, turning aspirations into accomplishments. It is not the lack of talent or opportunity that holds us back, but the lack of discipline. With discipline, we unlock the power within ourselves to create the life we desire, to build the future we envision, and to achieve the greatness we were created for. Accountability is a cornerstone of personal growth and achievement. It is the process of being answerable for our actions, decisions, and the outcomes that follow from them. At its core, accountability is about owning our choices, regardless of the results. It is not just about admitting our mistakes or failures, but also about celebrating our victories and ensuring that we follow through on our commitments. Accountability is an essential ingredient for success because it keeps us honest, motivated, and focused on our goals. Without accountability, we may find it easy to give up or make excuses when things get tough. With it, we gain the discipline, structure, and drive necessary to achieve the things we set out to accomplish. When we talk about accountability, We often think of external forces holding us to task: supervisors, mentors, coaches, or even family and friends who check in on our progress. However, true accountability starts with ourselves. It begins with a deep understanding that we are ultimately responsible for our own lives. No one can live our lives for us, and no one can carry the weight of our personal aspirations. It is up to us to take ownership of our actions and decisions, regardless of external circumstances or influences. Internal accountability requires that we be honest with ourselves about our strengths and weaknesses, our successes and failures. It involves looking at our own behavior and performance without excuses or rationalizations, and being willing to face the truth, even when it is uncomfortable. Being accountable to ourselves means setting clear goals and expectations and holding ourselves to those standards. This process requires clarity, honesty, and a strong sense of commitment. Many people set vague, lofty goals, such as "I want to be successful" or "I want to be a better person." However, without specific, measurable, and realistic goals, it is easy to get off track and lose motivation. Being accountable means creating a roadmap for our lives, defining where we want to go and establishing the steps needed to get there. When we set these goals, we not only create a sense of purpose, but also lay the groundwork for accountability. Every step we take toward our goal is an opportunity to measure our progress and evaluate whether we are staying true to the course. Accountability also involves regularly assessing our progress. It is not enough to set goals and expect results to happen magically. We must track our actions and behaviors to ensure that we are moving forward. Regular self-reflection is crucial in this process. Reflecting on our decisions, actions, and attitudes helps us identify areas where we may be falling short or excusing behavior that does not align with our values. Through reflection, we can identify patterns, make adjustments, and commit to improving ourselves. This process of honest self-assessment keeps us grounded and motivated, ensuring that we are always moving in the right direction. While accountability to ourselves is essential, it is also important to have external accountability. This is where mentors, coaches, family members, and colleagues come into play. External accountability provides structure, support, and motivation. When we share our goals and intentions with others, we make ourselves answerable not only to ourselves but to those who care about us. Having someone to check in with, whether formally or informally, helps to keep us on track. External accountability brings an added layer of responsibility. It forces us to be more diligent and focused, knowing that someone else is watching. When we are held accountable by others, we are less likely to procrastinate or make excuses, because we understand that our actions affect not only ourselves but also those around us. But external accountability, however, is not about being controlled or judged by others. It is about having people in our lives who genuinely care about our growth and success. A good accountability partner is someone who encourages us to stay focused on our goals, challenges us to be better, and helps us stay true to our commitments. They are not there to criticize or condemn, but to support and guide us along the way. They can offer perspective, share advice from their own experiences, and hold us to a higher standard. The role of an accountability partner is not to do the work for us, but to hold us accountable for doing the work ourselves. It is about creating an environment where we feel empowered and motivated to take ownership of our actions. However, accountability is not always comfortable. It can be difficult to be answerable for our mistakes, failures, or missed opportunities. It can be even harder to face the fact that we have not lived up to our potential or have made choices that go against our values. But the discomfort of accountability is where growth happens. Without accountability, we have no incentive to improve. When we do not hold ourselves accountable, we allow ourselves to make excuses, justify inaction, and avoid facing the consequences of our decisions. But when we choose accountability, we take control of our lives and break free from a cycle of stagnation. Accountability forces us to confront our shortcomings and challenges us to do better. It inspires us to keep going, even when the road gets tough. Another key aspect of accountability is the ability to learn from mistakes. No one is perfect, and we will inevitably make poor decisions or fail at times. However, it is our response to these failures that determines our future success. When we are accountable, we do not shy away from our mistakes, but instead embrace them as opportunities for growth. Accountability requires that we take responsibility for our failures and learn from them. This mindset of growth allows us to bounce back stronger, wiser, and more resilient. When we avoid accountability, we risk repeating the same mistakes over and over again, never learning or improving. But when we face our failures with accountability, we gain the insights and lessons needed to prevent future mistakes. Being accountable also means setting boundaries and learning to say no when necessary. Accountability requires that we prioritize our goals and guard our time and energy. We cannot be all things to all people, and we cannot do everything. It is essential that we recognize our limits and take responsibility for managing our commitments. When we say yes to too many things, we spread ourselves thin and risk failing to give our best effort to any one thing. Accountability teaches us the value of focus, discernment, and intentionality. We must be accountable not only for the tasks we take on, but also for the things we choose not to pursue. Learning to say no to distractions, non-priorities, and activities that drain our energy is a vital part of being accountable to our own goals and aspirations. Ultimately, accountability is a powerful tool for personal development. It is what keeps us grounded, focused, and motivated as we pursue our goals. It is the force that pushes us to take action, maintain consistency, and learn from our mistakes. Without accountability, we would drift aimlessly, lacking the structure and discipline necessary for success. Accountability transforms potential into performance by ensuring that we remain committed, responsible, and focused on what truly matters. By holding ourselves and others accountable, we create an environment where growth, progress, and achievement become not just possible, but inevitable. Perseverance is the ability to keep going, to endure, and to remain steadfast in the face of challenges. It is one of the most important qualities anyone can develop, because life is full of obstacles, difficulties, and moments when it feels like giving up would be the easiest thing to do. Challenges come in all shapes and sizes, whether personal, professional, or relational, and they test our character, resolve, and faith. However, it is how we respond to these challenges that determines our growth and future success. Perseverance is not about avoiding hardships, but about confronting them with determination, resilience, and unwavering belief in the possibility of a better outcome. When we face challenges, the natural instinct is often to seek an escape or a way to avoid discomfort. Pain, whether physical, emotional, or mental, is not something we naturally want to endure. Yet, it is in those very moments of difficulty that we have the opportunity to grow and develop the resilience needed to move forward. Perseverance teaches us that setbacks are not the end, but part of the journey. The ability to push through the tough times and keep moving forward is often what separates those who succeed from those who fail. It's easy to continue when everything is going well, but true perseverance is required when the road gets rocky. One of the most challenging aspects of perseverance is maintaining hope during difficult times. When things are not going as planned, when we encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable, it is easy to lose faith in ourselves and our ability to succeed. Doubt creeps in, and we may begin to question if the effort is even worth it. However, perseverance is rooted in hope. It is the belief that things will get better, that the effort we are putting in will pay off, and that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Without hope, perseverance becomes an impossible task. Hope fuels our determination and keeps us going when it feels like we are at our lowest point. Perseverance requires a mindset shift. Rather than seeing challenges as roadblocks, we begin to see them as opportunities. Opportunities to develop new skills, to strengthen our resilience, and to deepen our character. Every challenge presents a lesson, and it is through facing and overcoming those challenges that we become stronger. Success does not come from avoiding challenges, but from learning how to navigate them effectively. It is through challenges that we develop the traits that define success: patience, discipline, focus, and resilience. Every time we choose to persevere, we take one more step toward becoming the person we were meant to be. In the face of adversity, perseverance also requires us to cultivate patience. Instant gratification has become the norm in many areas of life. We want things to happen quickly and with minimal effort. However, the reality is that most worthwhile achievements require time, hard work, and consistent effort. Perseverance is about understanding that success does not happen overnight. It is a slow, steady process that requires continuous action, even when the results are not immediately visible. Patience is the companion of perseverance because it allows us to stay committed over the long haul, even when the progress seems small or invisible. Without patience, we may give up just when we are on the verge of breakthrough. Another important element of perseverance is the ability to embrace failure. Failure is an inevitable part of life, and it is often the greatest teacher we will ever have. However, many people view failure as the end of the road, a sign that they are not good enough or capable enough. In reality, failure is often the first step towards success. It teaches us what does not work, shows us our weaknesses, and forces us to reevaluate our approach. Those who persevere through challenges do not let failure define them. Instead, they use it as a stepping stone to greater achievement. They understand that failure is not final but merely part of the process. It is through repeated attempts, learning from mistakes, and adjusting strategies that success is eventually achieved. Those who give up at the first sign of failure never get to experience the lessons and growth that come from pushing through adversity. Perseverance also involves maintaining a positive attitude in the face of difficulty. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going as planned, but a positive attitude can make all the difference. A positive mindset does not mean ignoring the challenges or pretending they do not exist. Instead, it means choosing to focus on solutions rather than problems, on progress rather than setbacks. A positive attitude keeps us energized and motivated, allowing us to approach each challenge with a sense of optimism and determination. When we maintain a positive outlook, we are more likely to remain engaged and proactive, finding creative solutions to problems and continuing to push forward, even when things are difficult. Moreover, perseverance requires the ability to stay focused. Life is full of distractions, and it's easy to get sidetracked, especially when faced with challenges. It is crucial to stay focused on the bigger picture, to remind ourselves of the reasons why we started in the first place. When we keep our eyes on the goal, we are less likely to be derailed by temporary setbacks or obstacles. Staying focused helps us to avoid the temptation to quit when things get tough. It provides us with the clarity and determination needed to keep moving forward, even when the path seems unclear or the end goal seems far away. The road to success is rarely straight, and it is often filled with obstacles that test our resolve. However, it is in those moments that perseverance becomes most valuable. It is easy to stay committed when things are going well, but when things get difficult, perseverance is the trait that allows us to endure. The people who achieve great things are often those who refuse to give up in the face of adversity. They understand that challenges are not there to break them, but to build them. They view obstacles as opportunities to improve, to learn, and to grow stronger. By continuing to push forward, even when things seem bleak, they unlock their potential and reach heights they never thought possible. Perseverance is also about maintaining momentum. When we experience challenges, it is easy to become discouraged and lose our drive. However, momentum is a powerful force, and it is built through consistent effort over time. Each small step, no matter how insignificant it may seem, contributes to the larger goal. The more we continue to work toward our goal, even in the face of setbacks, the more momentum we build. Eventually, the small steps accumulate and the results start to manifest. Perseverance ensures that we do not stop, even when progress is slow, because it is the small, consistent efforts that ultimately lead to great achievements. In the end, perseverance is not just about surviving challenges, it is about thriving in the face of them. It is about becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable through each obstacle we encounter. When we persevere, we are not just pushing through difficulties, we are growing and evolving. Each challenge we face is an opportunity to rise to the occasion, to develop resilience, and to prove to ourselves that we are capable of achieving greatness, no matter what life throws our way. Perseverance is the key that unlocks the door to success, and those who possess it will always find a way to overcome, grow, and ultimately succeed. Living with purpose is one of the most profound ways to navigate through life. It is the driving force behind everything we do, the reason we wake up every morning with a sense of direction and intent. A life without purpose often feels empty and lacking in direction, as though we are simply going through the motions without any real meaning. But when we live with purpose, we find a deep sense of fulfillment and clarity. Purpose is not just a goal or an ambition, it is the foundation upon which we build our lives. It provides us with motivation in times of challenge, perspective in moments of uncertainty, and joy in everyday activities. A life lived with purpose is a life well lived, filled with meaning, passion, and alignment with one's deepest values. The search for purpose is a universal human experience, and yet it is something that many people struggle to find. In a world that is constantly changing and filled with distractions, it can be difficult to discern what truly matters. We may find ourselves caught up in the pursuit of success, status, or material possessions, only to realize that these external achievements do not bring lasting happiness or satisfaction. Purpose is not something that can be found in external accomplishments or validation. It comes from within. It is about aligning our actions with our deepest values, using our unique gifts and talents to contribute to something greater than ourselves, and living in a way that reflects our true calling. To live with purpose, we must first define what that purpose is. This process often requires deep reflection and self-exploration. Many people live their lives without ever stopping to ask, why am I here? Or what is the meaning of my existence? We get so caught up in the busyness of life that we forget to consider the deeper questions. But we take the time to reflect on our values, passions, and strengths. We begin to uncover the purpose that lies within us. This requires quiet introspection and a willingness to be honest with ourselves. It may involve exploring our childhood dreams, re-examining our past experiences, and considering the things that bring us true joy and fulfillment. Purpose is often found in the intersection of what we love, what we are good at, and what the world needs. When we can identify these elements, we begin to get a clearer picture of our life's purpose. Once we have a sense of our purpose, it is essential to integrate it into every aspect of our lives. Living with purpose means making decisions and taking actions that are aligned with that purpose. It involves prioritizing what truly matters and letting go of things that do not contribute to our greater goals. Living with purpose is not about chasing after every opportunity or pleasing others. It is about staying true to who we are and what we value. It requires focus, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to our mission in life. When we live with purpose, we are no longer living reactively, responding to the demands and pressures of others. Instead, we live proactively, making intentional choices that reflect our values and long-term goals. Purpose also helps us maintain perspective during difficult times. Life is not always easy, and there will inevitably be moments of hardship, frustration, and disappointment. But when we live with purpose, we find the strength to persevere through these challenges. Purpose gives us a reason to keep going, even when things seem bleak. It is the light that guides us through the darkness, reminding us that there is a bigger picture at play. When we lose sight of our purpose, it is easy to become discouraged and give up. However, when we remember why we are doing what we are doing, we find the motivation to press on, even in the face of adversity. Living with purpose provides resilience and fortitude because we know that the work we are doing is meaningful and worth the effort, regardless of the obstacles. Moreover, living with purpose fosters a deep sense of fulfillment. There is nothing more rewarding than knowing that what we are doing matters and that our efforts are contributing to something greater than ourselves. This sense of fulfillment comes not from external rewards, but from knowing that we are aligned with our core values and pursuing what we are truly passionate about. When we live with purpose, we are not seeking validation from others or striving for recognition. We are driven by the intrinsic satisfaction that comes from doing work that is meaningful. This fulfillment can be found in both big and small actions, from dedicating ourselves to a career or cause to simply helping someone in need. The key is that the work we do is a reflection of our deeper values, and that is what brings true satisfaction. Another important aspect of living with purpose is the impact we have on others. A purposeful life is not only about personal fulfillment, it is also about serving and contributing to the well-being of others. When we live with purpose, we are mindful of the way our actions affect the world around us. We understand that our lives are not just about us, but about how we can use our gifts and talents to make a positive difference in the lives of others. This may involve volunteering, mentoring, or simply being a kind and compassionate presence in the lives of those we encounter. Purpose is not confined to our own success. It is about contributing to the greater good and lifting others up along the way. The impact of a life lived with purpose ripples out, creating a legacy of kindness, generosity, and service. Living with purpose also requires self-discipline and consistency. It is easy to get distracted by the demands of daily life, to lose sight of our goals, and to fall into habits that are not aligned with our purpose. Purposeful living requires a level of intentionality and focus that can sometimes be difficult to maintain. It requires that we make conscious choices about how we spend our time, energy, and resources. It may mean saying no to opportunities or distractions that do not align with our goals. It involves building habits that support our purpose and consistently taking action toward our vision, even when it is difficult or inconvenient. Discipline is key to staying on track and ensuring that we remain committed to our purpose, no matter the obstacles. As we pursue our purpose, it is also important to stay open to growth and change. Living with purpose does not mean following a rigid, unchanging path. It is about being adaptable and open to new experiences, learning and evolving. Our understanding of purpose may shift over time as we grow and gain new insights. This flexibility allows us to stay aligned with our true calling, even as our circumstances and perspectives change. Living with purpose is a dynamic, ongoing process, and it requires that we remain open to new opportunities for growth, reflection, and self-improvement. In the end, living with purpose is the key to a fulfilling, meaningful life. It gives us direction, clarity, and motivation, allowing us to face challenges with resilience and determination. Purpose enables us to prioritize what truly matters, make a positive impact on others, and live in alignment with our deepest values. It provides a sense of fulfillment that cannot be found in external achievements or material possessions. Living with purpose is not a destination but a lifelong journey, one that requires constant reflection, growth, and commitment. But it is through this journey that we discover who we truly are and the unique contributions we are meant to make in the world.